Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Yarrington, and I am representing the Human Rights Watch Group. Human rights violations against the Democratic Republic of North Korea state. Among the international human rights which North Korea denies the people living in the country are freedom of expression, religion and conscience, assembly and association. It prohibits political opposition, independent media, civil society, or even trade unions. The latest report from this main body, the United Nations Commission of Inquiry, found the government committed gross, systemic, and widespread rights abuses to include extermination, murder, enslavement, torture, imprisonment, rape, forced abortions, and other sexual violence. North Korea operates secretive prisons camps where opponents of the government are sent to face torture, starvation, rations, and forced labor. Fear of collective punishment is used to silence dissidents. Our efforts today are to explain the human rights of North Korea violations, particularly in relation to Article 4, no one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Also, the following articles, Article 5, no one should be subjected to torture, cruel or inhumane treatment or punishment. Article 9, unfair detainment. No one has the right to put any person in prison without good reason and keep them there or send them away to another country. Article 18, freedom of thought, the right to believe in what we want to believe, a religion, and change if we want. And Article 19, freedom of expression, the right to make up our own minds, to think what we think, to say what we want to say, and to share our ideas with other people. We will listen to a couple of first-hand accounts from prior North Korean prisoners who described the conditions of imprisonment and treatment, the abuse of women in the prison camps where starvation, rape, forced labor, and death occur. Terrorizing and arresting of family members also occurred. The following descriptions are from the group's reports to the 2014 United Nations Commission of Inquiry. They briefly described the sexual abuse of a woman. They also described the imprisonment and treatment of human beings.
North Korea's authoritarian government commits or tolerates extremely serious human rights violations every day. People are desperate to survive, and they're also at the mercy of the authorities. And for women, this creates a perfect storm of sexual assault and rape. The imbalance of power means that sexual violence can be used against women every day.
That was our first transcript. The second audio will be from referencing the prison camps and what is happening there. Thank you for your patience.
Kwaliso is a prison system of prisoners in remote areas of Korea. We estimate that there are between 150,000 and 200,000 held prisoner in all these camps. Some looks like simple village settlements. However, these are very strongly secluded areas with no contact with outside world.
The North Korean government denies the existence of Kwaliso, and it's not surprising because they also deny that any sort of human rights abuses are taking place in North Korea. The Kwaliso are the modern-day equivalent of the Russian Gulag, where prisoners are starved, beaten, tortured, and worked to death.
Our efforts must be heard around the world continuously. Our efforts must also include actions which bring international recognized accountability to the state of North Korea for its violations of human rights. The stark examples presented here today and the thousands of defectors living in South Korea and other countries have first-hand accounts of these horrific violations, with renewed interest in North Korea globally, taking on more prestigious stature of statehood due to the U.S. and North Korean talks concerning denuclearization. It is imperative the world holds North Korea accountable to human rights violations and the commitment to improve its human rights declarations and practices. If reciprocity in the form of increased United Nations restrictions on trade and economic barriers do not work, further actions will need to be taken. The cause today is in the fashion of naming and shaming, but this has been used for decades with little to no resolve. We need a collective effort on the United Nations member states and the international organizations to bring full force of legal and binding declarations and resolutions to bear on the actions being conducted by North Korea against humanity. Thank you for your time and for your consideration.